Salutations, friends. It is your pal, said Stevie, and today I got something in from Monterey Bay Knives, MBK as it were. I was having lunch with Ethan Ruins EDC and Mr. Steve Clare over the weekend, and Steve brought this with him to breakfast and said, "Hey, do you want to check it out?" And I said, "Sure, why the heck not? Dig me some MBK." Without further ado, this is the newest USA, made in the USA offering from Monterey Bay Knives. And unlike the past that have been designed, I think they were a collaboration between Ray Laconico and Sanford Owen. This one is actually designed by Sanford Owen himself. Sanford is the man. Awesome dude. Probably the chillest guy that I've met in the community. Always got a smile on his face, and really awesome dude when you get a chance to chit chat with him. Ray's awesome too. Again, both guys pretty awesome. Love me some Monterey Bay Knives. But so they've had the Sea Otter and the River Otter come out, and this one is the Kain. Little differences between them. They are smaller EDC style knives. Thumb studs running on phosphor bronze washers. But we'll get into some quick specs here. So you are looking at an overall length of about 7 inches overall length. That's a 4-inch handle and a 3-inch blade in S90V. Is that showing up there? So unlike the River Otter and Sea Otter that were Magna Cut, this one is S90V. It does not list the Rockwell or the HRC on here, but I have to imagine they're paying attention to all that. And I don't know what the optimum excuse me, wet my whistle real quick with some coffee, black like my soul as usual, drinking out of my CDC mug. But I have to assume that they're paying attention to all the HRC nitpickers out there, and although it's not listed, I'm going to go out on a limb and say that they're running it at what it should be. But this is a light knife, coming in at only 2.7 ounces. It is small, like I said. Ergos wise, it's a little too small for my hand, and I think that's mainly just because of the thin handle. If the handle were a little bit longer, I think I would feel a little more comfortable with this. But that's kind of how I felt about the Sea Otter as well. But you do have a nice, I guess, is this spear point, or more spear point than drop point style blade. I think that this is a hollow grind. I can't really tell, but it is has a nice tumbled acid etched finish on it. Satin hardware all around with the thumb studs and the body screws and pivot screws. Again, nice tumbled aluminum oxide blasted, I think is what they call the finish on there. Alumina oxide finish. Open construction, you just see some barrel spacers, no back spacer at all. And then you have a stamped steel pocket clip. Not very deep carry at all. It's kind of standard. But I believe that they do have a deeper carry clip that you can put on these. Frame lock, as I mentioned. Writing on phosphor bronze. It is smooth. You do have pretty good access to the lock bar. This blade is just too light, and being that it's running on washers, for it to really be a drop shut type knife. But the thumb studs do work good. The action is good to go. The lockup is solid. Obligatory spine whacking. Lockup is solid. As I mentioned, the thumb studs, easy access to the thumb studs. Well, I was just about to say the detent's good to go, and then I failed it. But it fires out there with your thumb. And then if you want to middle finger flick it. Ofer, geez, I had no problems with this yesterday. as I was riding around with it. Rode around for a good 3-ish hours and had it in hand the entire time. I'm not going to use this knife because I think Steve does not plan on keeping it around. This is going to be a catch and release for him. But I would say that the detent's good. Yes, you can fail it, but I don't got any problems with the detent. It has come off center a little bit since I was playing with it. I'm sure that's just, the pivot probably does need to be tightened down a little bit and or put some thread locker on there eventually, because it was completely centered and it has come off center slightly. But with a brand new knife, I would expect that to happen, and you really got to dial that in once you get it. And I always recommend putting some thread locker on there. But yeah, not a bad offering. It's just on the small side for me. Gave you the specs, but here's some size comparisons. There is a penguin, the regular size penguin. This is the titanium TPK exclusive penguin, but you can see the size there. And then here it is against an Elementum. So you can see size-wise, it's right in the range, but it does have that thinner handle. If you want one more size comparison, here it is next to the Para 3. So 3-inch cutting length, that's a decent sized blade. 4-inch handle, that's a decent sized handle. I would consider this on the small side for my big ol' XL hands. And for those of you that might already have some of their other US made knives, Ethan, so I had a Sea Otter. I ended up selling it to Troy, who's now calling it the said Sea Otter. But this is Ethan's Sea Otter. He had work done on it by way of knife. See, you can add that milled titanium clip to these. I believe it'll fit that. But this is right around the exact same size. So obviously completely different profile, but right around the same size. So, and I thought that the River Otter was bigger. No, the River Otter just has a sheep's foot style blade. They are still the same size, but really digging the, and my lighting is horrible and the colors aren't really coming through on camera right now. I gotta figure out what's going on with that, because this is looking grayish on camera to me right now, but this is like a forest green on the scales that Way of Knife did this for Ethan. But you can see the size comparison there. Again, right around the same size. Did I mention what the name is of this? I don't know. I just hit record and started talking. I didn't really plan this video out. But this is the Kain, by the way. Kain. So, plane overhead. So again, Monterey Bay knives, you guys know them from all sorts of models. This is the XLS B, the extra large slayback that was modded by Backpack B. Not a US production. And then I also have this, which is for sale, by the way. If it's something that you're interested in, hit me up. This is the Pincher. Two of my favorite knives. I just don't carry this very often, so I am going to... it's up for sale right now. This is in ZDP 189. So is this, by the way. But, most of their knives up until recent have been overseas production. And I don't know who their OEM is. If it's ever been said before, I'm just not aware of who it is. But, more on the affordable-ish, higher-end overseas production. These are, $200-ish dollars. This, for a US-made knife, is coming in at $400, just like the Sea Otter and the River Otter. Which is definitely, there's going to be some people that say, absolutely not interested. $400, I can get so much more stuff for cheaper for a smaller knife. But again, full US production, and that's going to kind of be the going price for some of these smaller knife companies. I think that's not a bad price, really. But I do like everything that they designed. These are both Ray Laconico designs. I don't think you can really see the Laconico on there anymore because it's been... Backpack B did a really good job at etching and tumbling this blade. Then I'm going to actually give this to Ethan to ruin and put a nice edge on there for me. But, you know, they've done the Easy E and the slayback and the min pin and all sorts of stuff. They got lots of designs out there that I really dig. I've handled most of them. These are the only two that I've picked up. And again, I did purchase a Sea Otter. Again, it's just a little too small for my hands. I will say, as much as I like the Kain, the Sea Otter might be a little, for a smaller knife, a little bit more comfortable in hand. And I think that's just to do with the thin handle. It's not uncomfortable by any means. I'd say the ergos are solid. It's just this is a little bit, the Sea Otter is a little bit more comfortable in my big old mitts. Again, trying to get rid of this. So if you're interested in the MBK pincher with the white Arctic Storm fat carbon inlay, hit me up. It's brand new, minty fresh. I had it for a little while, but it's good to go. You can see the action is good to go, and no funk wonky knives here. The pincher is good to go. And I'll put this away. I didn't show off Backpack B. Shout out to Brent, by the way. That nice fade ano on the pocket clip for me. And then he also modded and put that hole in the blade as well. And then the Sea Otter, as I mentioned, is Ethan's. This will be going back to him. Back to the Kain here. These are not currently available. They will be doing steady drops of these. You just got to follow them on Instagram. They give you lots of heads up on there. And then sign up for their newsletter as well. I'm not affiliated, obviously, with Monterey Bay Knives at all. So, you know, if you do want to pick one up, it benefits you only, not me. But I'm signed up for their newsletters, and they do a good job at giving you a heads up when their stuff does become available, like when they have the River Otter lotteries and if Sea Otters are going to be available. So if you're chasing one, definitely if you're chasing one, you already know how to get in on that. I'm not telling you anything new, but if you happen to find this video and you are wondering how, that'll all be linked down in the description. So after spending a good solid day with this, I would feel confident in giving this knife 2 thumbs up. I really would. Again, it's on the smaller side. It's not for me. But that does not mean that it's not a good knife. Oh, it also came wicked sharp. It actually, although I don't get to keep it, I should. It did open me up at breakfast yesterday morning. That is a fresh cut. Was playing with it and it came right down on me. It is sharp. I did cut some paper with it. I don't have any paper out here right now to cut, or else I'd show you. But there is a nice, it did come with a nice sharp edge on it, which is important. And, you know, pokey, stabby, much more pokey, stabby than the River Otter and the Sea Otter. I didn't check the blade stock on the River Otter, but this is very, very thin blade stock. If you look at the two, and I don't have my calipers out, you can see that it's a thinner blade stock. And it's the blade thickness is listed at 0.135. So, yeah, nice, thin, slicey, made in the good old United States, down in, where are they located? I mean, Monterey, right? That's where their shop is. Made in California. So, you're picking up a knife for $400. It's going to be solid for sure. As I mentioned, nice, lightweight, despite there being no internal milling. But very, very light. It's going to carry well. You got good blade steel, an S90V, solid action. Again, just because my hands are big, and it kind of rules it out for me to carry, it shouldn't be a knock on this. If you got smaller hands and you're looking for a good, solid US made knife USA-made knife. It's kind of a blank canvas. You can have all sorts of stuff done to this. It's something you could send off to Tactical Terry to do some different finishes to, or whoever your favorite anodizer is. Terry just happens to be mine. Shout out to Tactical Terry. But yeah, again, 2 thumbs up. I think this knife would treat you well. Good construction, solid company, solid dude. Again, shout out to Sanford Owen. And shout out to Steve Clare for letting me check this out. My brother, Steve Clare, who lives just 15 minutes down the road. So that's all I really got for you folks today. Let me know what you guys think. Too small for you? Too expensive for you? Not something you're interested in? Is it something you're interested in? Either way, let me know. And I do truly appreciate you folks tuning in. And until the next one, I bid you mofos, adeuces. Toodaloo. Bye.